Welcome back, folks. This is it. This is what we've all been waiting for, the exciting doubleheader on the final day of Shipfest Season 2, brought to you by LG Ultragear. First up, we have Shot Callers versus Team Crazy. Now, the fight is for third place, but potentially, if Crazy do manage to win it, we're going to have Shot Callers, Crazy, and if I'm not mistaken, Soviet Union all tied on points for third place. That's going to be a bit of an interesting situation to figure out. But before we get there, we've got one hell of a match. You've got Team Crazy, the only team to have beaten the league leaders, now joint leaders. Now there was a bro moment so far. Shot callers, the reigning champions, having slipped up twice already this season. Valk joins me for this match. How do you see it playing out? Do you think Crazy has that momentum, or will shot callers, rely on their experience to see this one out?
Look, first of all, what two games, and you described it perfectly. You cannot have a better two games to end your league season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, in terms of this particular match, I would have to probably lean a little bit towards shot callers, simply because these guys have the experience of winning this tournament, right? The last year, and big matches bring with it big nerves. They, they, I mean, in big matches in general, it is about who holds their nerve better, who looks at the scoreboard more practically, doesn't panic. So
Also,
we
by
just
the
have
way,
to.
by the way, while we were setting the stage, shot callers have actually lost a massive chunk of HP. Awesome, down 17,000 HP. Varun, we usually don't see him in an uncomfortable situation. He's down 11,000 HP. That is not the start shot callers were expecting.
Yeah, they've come under fire pretty quickly. I have to say they're going for a pretty standard configuration for this map, where the Baltimore tries to deny the center and the mid cap. The Talon being a little more long range. Although I have to say the Talon is moving up quite close to the outside cap. Generally, what we see is it's a little further back out. But in this particular map, the map border is pretty close to the outer circle.
Yeah,
So that is
also look at this, look
probably
at this.
why.
The Talon's radar has actually spotted out the lightning,
Wow.
and Sierra 117's coming under tremendous fire, folks. The Baltimore Lightning and Talon all doing a lot of damage. Do they have one more salvo in them? Or is the Baltimore going to chain radar afterwards? It seems Sierra
Coming
is gonna
down to.
survive just with
Yeah,
just a
coming
bit.
down to a third health for a DD basically makes the gameplay very, very
Puts the
careful for
fear
the
of
rest of the
God in
match.
you.
Yes. And the rest of the match then becomes basically about surviving more, and a DD with 18,000 health can take some risks and can get away with some stuff. A DD caught in the open with 6,000 health, maybe not so much,
What's
right?
this? What's the detection range on a lightning?
I
Because
think
it's gonna be interesting whether Invader's gonna try and play aggressive to spot out Sierra 117. Is he gonna risk that?
I doubt that. There's a Cleveland and a Vladdy right there. I doubt that's going to happen. And the fact that he's actually capping the center cap tells him that Sierra's actually taken leave
Hmm.
and he's gone out to the outer circles, right?
And look at how
So,
he's actually circling a bit towards the center, right? He's inching closer to try and maybe spot him. Get into that spotting range, spot him, and then immediately turn out. He doesn't want to get too close, but at the
yeah,
same time, he wants to try and get information. The center cap is with shot callers, folks.
yeah, and these are area denial tops for the Vladivostok. Or double radars coming in. I think invaders caught in the radar from the Cleveland.
Yes, but so is
So,
Sierra 117. Shots coming out once again as he's gonna
wow.
lose another half of his remaining HP down to 3,000 points. Is this the final salvo, folks? He dodges one, he dodges the second as Sierra 117 being forced outside.
Wow.
Essentially, all the caps.
Both the TDs have taken quite a bit of hits. but I think Invader is still on half health. But Sierra Marksman, he's got to play super carefully now. And the problem with Sierra Marksman right now is that both flanks have
Radars. Yeah,
radars.
he's not safe
So
anywhere.
basically, the center cap is not available at all
Hmm.
right now for
It's
Sierra.
the center too now, the center and the middle ring. So, shot callers have actually done great in how they position themselves.
Ooh,
But the
but he got a
question is,
couple of
Varun
pops off.
is, yeah, Varun's
Yeah.
going very aggressive. And, is he
Questionable
going to be.
push, I've got to say. Wouldn't you
Uh,
agree? I mean, they have the center and the mid ring. I don't really see the point of this push, although he does have good shots on applied mechanics. Let's see if he can make them count, but he's giving a lot of broadside to Lord Dipesh.
Yep, and you can see that Lord Dipesh punishing him a little. The battleship down to less than 8,000, and that's two fires, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that's
On.
that's a single fire. That's a
Is
single
that the
fire.
single?
Yeah, that's a single fire. He's got fire prevention, but I don't think he's gonna live. I think he's going down. Can he take applied mechanics with him? No, he can't.
I mean, he
Was that
did
a
he
worthy
did a
trade?
solid amount of damage, kept them occupied, and now the question is, will Awesome be able to prevent Marksman from coming back in and applied mechanics from pushing through?
I mean,
It's
he does have room to go a little further and then, be able to get shots on the Baltimore of applied mechanics without the Vladdy having shots on him. However, that's going to be a bit of a HP trade, and at the end
Also,
of the
look at
trade, he
this
might.
great torts going out from. Oh my God! Finishes literally at the ship. Lord Dipesh must be thanking his stars, folks. Invader spotted once again. I think that's the radars coming out. He is gonna be scared for his life. Down to
Those tops,
3,000
those
health.
tops on awesome, those tops on awesome. He should take one, I think. He takes one, and now all applied mechanics needs to do is just push forward and take him out.
Invader got picked off, by the way.
Wow, Invader died. That's wow. Awesome died. Not what I had expected, to be very honest.
Not what
But
anybody expected. But,
but I have to say, I mean, crazy just held their nerve, even though Marksman had gone down to 1200 health. They still kept. They were still patient. I
mhm,
think short just once they got Sierra down to such low health, they thought they had it in the bag,
yeah.
and they made that push
I,
too
th- I,
early.
I think losing that battleship early on really, cost them a lot of control on that flank.
Yeah, and that was just overconfidence. I have to say that was just basic overconfidence.
I
And
think
now it's
we've
just a
actually
case of
spoken
finishing off.
about Varun usually being, more composed and on point throughout the tournament. And
Yeah,
I think that one flaw we saw from him is actually going to end up costing these guys a crucial match, and it's actually going to send the three teams tied for third place into a playoff after the streams today.
I have to say that was a very, very questionable push from Varun. They didn't need to do that. They had the center ring and they had the middle ring, which was occupied. The middle ring was occupied by Crazy, but they still had it, right? So the points were still ticking in. All they needed to do was contest the last ring,
Mm-hmm.
and they could have let Crazy make the moves
Yeah, they will
and
get
pick them off one by
the
one.
double points from center and middle caps.
Yeah, the
Would have
middle
been
cap was
enough to
actually,
put a
yeah, the
few
middle cap was,
100-point lead
yeah. The middle
in
cap was
place.
actually not earning them any points because the Vladdy and the Cleveland were in the middle ring, so it was in their
No, no,
control. It
no.
was,
So I'm actually looking at the replay right now, right? At the
yeah,
point
yeah,
where Invader and the Baltimore died, they were
yeah.
all in the outer ring. The entire team
Wow,
was in the outer ring,
wow.
and
Yeah,
still that
I
aggressive push
it's a
cost them. But
questionable play. I have to say, very questionable play. Uh, Crazy. Hats off to them. They kept their cool, even though Sierra. came down to 1200 HP, they still made sure that, they didn't make any stupid moves. They didn't just give up. While and they let Shot make the mistakes. Shot did not need to push in, especially Varun did not need to push in. I just didn't understand that play at all. I think once they knew that Sierra was pushing back, they just thought, okay, you know what? This is an opportunity. Let's just take the Baltimore of applied mechanics out. Unfortunately, they had cross shots from the Vladivostok and Cleveland coming
And
in,
I think he took some torpedoes.
and he took some torpedoes. I mean, while Lightning was not in the center cap, he was still around.
Yeah.
Just because a DD on one health is still super deadly.
Yep.
We know that from every mode of this game, right? So I don't know what that push was. I'm very, very sure they regret that push.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure they know they screwed up.
Yeah.
They can't blame it on anyone else. I know they screwed up because they're a good team. They're a really good team, and I think they underestimated. Uh, I think they underestimated Crazy this
And
time.
I
And but
think
well played
Crazy
to Crazy.
showed that, and more importantly, I think Crazy showed that, hey, beating Now That Was a Bro moment yesterday was not a fluke. Right?
Yeah,
They beat the current
yeah,
league leaders. They beat the reigning champions,
yeah.
and now they've put themselves in a situation where they can potentially be in the money as well, folks. That was the first of our two games, guys. We're gonna take a quick break and then be back with the match that will decide our champion for Shipfest Season 2. We're gonna have Now That Was a Bro moment going up against uh, Radioactive. We're gonna take a quick break.